Alright, so in this video we're going to take a look at the Sequential Pro 3 synthesizer and specifically take a look at the sequencer section here. So this synth is a pretty amazing synth. It's got a great core sound engine, three really great sounding filters, but maybe the most inspiring part about it is the live sequencer setting section here, where you can do lots of sequence mangling on the fly and do some really cool beat making stuff. So right here I've just got a basic bass type of patch. Okay, and with the slider I just have some extra modulation programmed in there. So the first thing we'll do here is I'm just going to program in a note sequence here. So programming in note sequences is really easy on the Pro 3. You just go track select, you go to track 1, which is the note sequence lane, and what I'll do is I'll first just erase everything on this track. So erase. Okay, so now I've got a empty track to record stuff into. When recording a note sequence, I always recommend to do it starting with the C note as your root note, just because then later on you can use the gated sequencer mode and you can transpose it all up and down the keyboard, and whatever note you hit, that will be the root note of the sequence that's played. So here what I'll do is I'll just click record here and just put in a little 16-note sequence. Okay, so there's 16 notes. Now here we'll just hit play to just start playing the sequence here. Alright, one of the really cool things here we can do is go into note ratcheting, and I'm going to turn on note ratcheting on the last two steps here. So note ratcheting allows you to get that rapid fire multi-notes per step. You can ratchet it anywhere from 2 notes all the way up to 8 notes in a single step. So here I'll turn up the ratcheting a little more so you can hear it more intense on these last steps. Let me turn that to decay a little. And it's really easy. I can go in and add ratchets on additional steps here. So I'll just quickly go through in here and add a couple more. So now I've got ratchets on these 2 steps and the last 2. Okay. Sorry, I'm going to stop the sequence here. I'm going to switch it to gated sequencer mode now so I can play it right from the keyboard. Whatever key I hit is going to be the new root note. So I programmed it in C. I want to play this in D, so I'm just going to hit a D here. So now I've got it playing in D, and I can hit the hold note to hold it down. I'm going to get rid of this one more ratchet right here real quick, just to make this a sort of simple bass sequence. And now what I want to do in order to build up the other 4 sequences, or the other 3 sequences here, so I'm going to copy this sequence that's playing into these other ones. So it's pretty quick. You just hit track select, copy the from and the to, and track select, copy from to, copy from and to. Okay, so now I've got the same sequence on all 4 of these, and if I click through, it'll just consecutively, continuously play the same sequence in the same step. So one thing I want to do, I know, is make some variations of this. So I'm going to jump to sequence B here and just erase some of these notes here. So that might be one variation of the sequence. Now I'll go to strip C, where I've copied it over as well. On this one, I'll maybe do some ties. So to do a tie, you just hold down the button and the from and to button. And this one, maybe I'll change the ratcheting on some of these steps. There we go. Okay, so now we've got some variation. I'm going to go back to the first one here. So this is sort of the basic one that we're basing this off of. So for the sequence D, I'm going to keep the same sequence on D, but I'm going to turn up the ratchet on every step on this one to 2. And 4 for the final 2 steps. So now I've got a version of this sequence where everything is ratcheted twice or 4 times on the last steps. And this is really cool. You can switch back and forth now. So it's really easy to build up several variants of a given phrase with different ratcheting steps and play it in real time. And let's get a drum track going on this too. Let's see here. Ratchet it up too. You can increase the ratcheting on steps. And decrease the decay. So as you can see there, it's really easy to just sort of get lost in the sequencer. There's just so many controls here that you can just at a button click or a knob turn, you can change up the whole feel of the beat. Again, as I showed, adding ties is just really cool. I love that you can quickly add a tie just by holding down a step and clicking the next step. Adds a tie between there, and then if you want to get rid of those ties, you just click the next step along there, and now you've gotten rid of that tie, but all of the existing note data is retained, so it jumps right back into the sequence you were playing before. And same goes with turning on and off notes temporarily. It's just a really great live sequencing setup. The one feature request I'm hoping that they'll consider for the future is to have some sort of real-time ratcheting control on a knob. Perhaps in like one of these sequencer screens, there's some empty spots here, like next to swing. It would be really cool if, while a sequence was playing, you could quickly just dial up a knob to get the ratcheting to start and get that sort of Aphex Twin beat breakup, rapid fire, and then swing the knob back. Just for more live performance control. But as I showed there, you can sort of do that just by copying a sequence from one of these sequences, like from C to D, and then just increasing the ratchet steps on one of the sequences, and then quickly hitting back between the ratcheted sequence and the non-one. It gets that sort of quick rapid fire attack. Anyway, I'm really loving the Pro 3 synth. I've had it only for about 10 days now, so I'm still a neophyte at it, but it's a really inspiring synth, and I definitely recommend it to just about everyone. All right, that'll do it for now. Have a good one.